Biden administration today put out a big report about addressing corruption. I want to ask you two quick and hopefully pretty easy questions about that. Shortly after President Biden's virtual meeting with the Chinese president, the first son's attorney said that he has finally divested from a Chinese investment fund controlled by state-owned entities. I was hoping you could commit to basic transparency about that transaction, including the name of the buyer, the dollar amount, and the timing. And the second question is, my colleague Miranda Devine has a new book out called The Laptop from Hell, and I was hoping that you could confirm that the laptop is indeed authentic and not Russian disinformation, as you seemed to suggest on Twitter last year.
Well, on the first, the president's son is not an employee of the federal government, so I'd point you to his representatives. And as it relates to the book, I have neither had the time nor interest in exploring or reading the book. Go ahead, Tina.
The first son's attorney
Go ahead,
didn't
Tina.
give any
I think I answered your question. Go ahead. You can go to the representative of the person who's not an employee of the federal government. Go ahead, Tina. I think we have to move on. Go ahead.
Is there anything the White House is doing to help parts of the U.S. where we're seeing hospitals that are overwhelmed again with the Delta variant, like parts of Massachusetts and New York? Is there any help that can be sent out to help them?
Let me check on it specifically. What we have done over the past, and I suspect we're doing now, but I just don't have the information in front of me, is working with state public health officials to ensure we are sending surge resources to them, because as we've talked about a fair amount in here, it's not just the vaccines, to your point, it's ensuring that there are health and medical experts as needed, additional resources. Sometimes it's medical needs or medical equipment needs, and we've been really surging those on an as needed basis. So I will check and see on Massachusetts if there's anything in addition.
I can just ask about if the White House is concerned about the child tax credit expiring on December 15th. Is that something that's being discussed with Senate Democrats in negotiations with them?
Absolutely, we're concerned, as should millions of Americans be. And that is an area that is a part of the president's Build Back Better agenda, and why he and we are so eager to get it done. Go ahead.
Thanks, Jen. You said in response to Ashley of the president's belief that democracy is always a work in progress and that you have to push yourself to do better as well as pushing other people to do better. So what does the president believe the United States needs to do better?
Well, I think first, when the president took office, one of his key objectives is restoring trust and faith in not just government, but in institutions, and doing that in a range of ways. That means not only respecting and valuing the freedom of press and media here and around the world, it also means ensuring we are speaking out against human rights and ensuring we are taking steps to address corruption around the world. We just put out a major report on corruption today, too, in advance of the Democracy Summit. So what I was getting at, I think, is, and I think why you were asking, is that it is not, we are continuing to work hard, do better, ensure we are protecting our own democracy here at home. And I think it is unquestionable that as people around the world, countries around the world, looked at the events of January 6th, looked at what happened here in the United States, it was clear that when the president came into office, this was going to be front and center in his agenda, and it has been.